Just give yourself a few moments to arrive into practice, as always. You might like to just make sure the spine is straight, crown of the head lifting up. And however you're sitting, whether it's cross-legged or in the kneeling Japanese Seiza style or on a chair, just bring attention to the sit bones. You might like to just sigh out, let go of any busyness of the morning. Allow yourself to drop an anchor into this idea of practice. Whatever we practice grows stronger. Whatever we give our attention to, we also give great power. So when we're always busy, when we're always distracted, leads us one way, and when we come to this place of stillness and attention and listening, it leads us another direction. In today's Qigong practice, we're going to explore this idea of not knowing. It's a Taoist idea. You might remember the line from the Tao. In the pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. But in the practice of the Tao, every day something is dropped. Until less and less do we need to force things, and finally we arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is undone. So this is this idea that instead of needing to find an answer, instead of needing to always think and nut everything out and add, we can just allow things to drop away. It might be our habits, it might be our conditioning, it might be the beliefs we grew up with. Whatever we think we know, we can choose to just let it roll away. And as it does, we become a little more connected to those around us, to other ideas. We get a little bit less rigid in our beliefs. Maybe we find a little more empathy for others, a little more understanding. So we'll start today, as we always do, with palms facing forward, chest and heart open. And you might just like to welcome in new learning, new energy as you lift the arms up. Take a breath in. And then sigh out. Really empty out any busyness, any thoughts, any ideas, any sense of being fixed or rigid. When the next breath comes, we lift again, welcoming in new oxygen, and we sigh out. And one more time, we turn our palms, take a breath, we lift up. This time we might just really empty out and bring the palms onto the body. You can place them wherever you like. I always usually like one on my belly, one on my mid-chest. Just listening to our breath. There's a famous Buddhist story about the elephant and the blind men. And the blind men in the town had always heard about this mystical animal, this mystical beast called the elephant, but they had never actually seen one because they were all born blind. And then one day they came across an elephant. And one of the blind men felt the side of the elephant and said, "Now I know what an elephant is like. It's like a wall. It's limitless in every direction, no matter where you go." Another one of the blind men happened to come across one of the legs of the elephant and said, no, an elephant isn't like a wall. It's like a tree. It's just like a tree. Yet another one of the blind men grasped the tail of the elephant and said, no, it's not like a tree or a wall. It's like a rope. I know what an elephant is like. Yet another found the tusk and said, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like a rope or a tree or a wall. It's like a spear. And soon enough, all the blind men were arguing all afternoon, and they were all very convinced about everything that they knew, everything that they thought, until the wise man walked along the road and convinced them just to listen, to be quiet. We discover more through, not through talking, not through arguing, not through holding our beliefs, but by being open, by receiving. The elephant can be all the things and all the thoughts, all the ideas are all true, or as much as they need to be. So you might just like to listen to your own breath, just find the pattern of the breath, belly expanding as you breathe in. And then sighing out. Just give each breath all the time that it needs. No rushing. And if your mind feels busy, if it's wandering off away from the attention on the breath, just notice that too. Allow yourself to arrive back in the next breath. So as we make space, as we find room, what can we learn about ourselves on this day? Might just be something small about how our body works, how our body feels. It might be an awareness about our habit energy. What can we notice on this day? Every day is different. And Taoist thought it invites you to accept everything and expect nothing, to always act without an expectation of a result. And then Buddhist thought often tells you to expect nothing and appreciate everything. Two sides of the same idea. All right, let's drop our chin down to the chest. You might take the hands off the body. And when you're ready, we'll just slowly come up to a standing position. And let's bring our feet directly under the hip bones. And you might like to start by just rolling back into the heels. So weights in the back of the body. See if you can lift up all 10 toes. And when you're ready, just start placing the toes down one by one. Maybe just the big toe of your right foot and the big toe of your left foot. And see if you can separate the toes. You might not be able to, but have a try. Slowly taking down one toe at a time. And then you might like to just roll in towards the toes. Roll back onto the heels. Keeping all four corners of the foot heavy. Just feel into the outside arch, the inner arch, just every part of your connection with the earth. Lower body is heavy, stable, reliable. Upper body is soft and open. Start today by bringing our inner wrists together in the front of the body. Just feel one arm pulling in and one arm pushing out. See if you can bring your attention to the inside of the wrists. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw, your cheeks, you might invite a little cheeky grin onto the face. Or your attention is just between the wrists. If the shoulders feel tight or the chest feels tight, just notice that. Notice when we're focusing on one part of the body, if we drag in other parts of the body that are not needed. You might like to take your attention back underneath the toes or the heel. And then back to the inside of the wrists. Take a breath in. Side out. Let's roll our wrists. And just explore the feeling here as you take your wrists one over the other. You might even like to change direction. We're connecting with points on our heart meridian, on our lung meridian. Points for calm and for focus. Change directions again if you like. And let's bring each hand into a fist and just bring it tight, a tight fist. And again, just notice if your jaw or your shoulders are tight. We just want all our energy to be in our hands. One more breath. And then just shake it out, let it go. Now let's try that again. Tight fist. And then letting it go. Let's lean down and we're just going to shake out one arm. And then maybe the other side. Just take your weight to one side of the body. We'll do one more each side. And come up tall. Let's roll our shoulders. Both directions. Taking the arms above the head, we're going to grab a hold of one of our thumbs. Take a big breath in, grow as tall as you can. As we sigh out, draw that thumb across the body. Inhale to lift up and sighing out. Keep moving side to side. Just feeling that energy moving down, shoulders, hips. Maybe one more time each side. And we'll come back up. Let's take our hands directly outside the ears, elbows wide. Take a breath in. As we sigh out, turn to the side. Roll the shoulder back. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, roll the other shoulder back. See if you can roll your shoulders more than your hips. Just notice if you're able to separate the movement of the shoulders and the hips. The waist might stay mostly facing to the front. Knees and toes face pointing the front. All our movement is on the out breath, the sigh out. And we'll come back to the center and just let the arms be heavy. Shake it out a little bit. Let's bring our hands to our hips. We'll roll. You might like to just keep all your attention under the feet as you do this. Lower body stays heavy and relaxed. Maybe changing directions. Let's bring our feet together, knees together. Cup the knees, just small circles, both directions. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come up and we'll just shake it out, arms, legs. All right, today we're going to do the 8 brocades of Qigong, also called Duan Jin. Let's start in our Wuji stance. So feet are heavy, knees slightly bent, back of the knees are soft. We're going to tuck our tailbone just under a little bit so our spine is long and straight, shoulders heavy. Just let your arms hang by the side of the body, a little bit away from the body, fingers slightly apart. Neck is long, you might tuck in your chin a little. Just take a few breaths in this shape. Just like we did at the start, you might take all your attention under the toes, pressing down through all 10 toes, through the heel. Feel that element of leg muscles being engaged and connecting with the earth. Maybe invite on that little half smile if you can. Cheeks, forehead, eyes, all soft, open, inviting, accepting. So the very first form we do, often called the heavenly lift, we bring our palms together. You might like to interlace your fingers, not necessary if this is hard for you to do. And we're going to inhale, elbows are wide. At the heart, we turn our palms and press up and look up. We pause our breath at this point, bring our eyes forward, and then we sigh out. Real sense of letting go. Arms come all the way down. And then just wait for your next breath to come. When it does, we inhale again. So we're doing a box breath, pausing in between each inhale, each exhale. Eyes come forward, and then we sigh out. And try not to hold the breath, just let that pause come, waiting for the next breath to come. When it does, we inhale. Not rushing from one breath to the next. As you press up, you might feel your feet also pushing into the ground. So we're looking for this feeling of energy moving in both directions. This is a form to regulate our body's temperature from gut to heart to head, so that we have a little more evenness throughout the body. This translates to evenness in our emotions. So our highs are not quite so high, our lows are not quite so low. We allow our body to feel all the things without trying to control Just see if you can find the pattern of your breath. Find that pause in between the breaths. As we come down now, let's bring both palms to the lower belly, the dantian, the center of gravity in our body. You might take a moment in stillness. This practice of deep listening, deep attention. If you feel like one of the blind men next to the elephant, desperately trying to describe and understand, just let that go. Allow all the viewpoints to be there. Every side of the coin, every descriptor, all relevant. Don't have to trap things, don't have to hold on so tightly. Now we'll just take our arms wide, take a breath to draw energy in and sigh out. Second form will do. We're going to step out into a horse stance. So take your feet a little wider than the mat. You might bend the knees. Back of the spine is still straight, so tuck that tailbone under if you can. You'll feel your leg muscles switch on. We'll take a breath in. Fold our arms over as we sigh out. Sink down, draw open a bow. Chest is open. Inhale to lift up. And we'll sigh out. Today we're just going to do static form here. We usually would step from one side to the other, but today we're just going to keep our feet steady. Sink into the form. Inhale to rise up. And let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Just find yourself moving with the breath. Chest is open. Eyes are gazing at the fingers. Just allow your fingers to inspire the movement of the spine. One more time. Step back in. Fold our palms over. What can we notice right now about how the body feels? Third form today, pushing sky and earth. Let's draw our palms towards each other, not quite touching. We take a breath in. As we sigh out, we're going to push one hand up and one hand down. Inhale, draw them together and then switch the palms. Energy's moving in both directions. Feel that sense of pushing the earth and holding up the sky. Inhale, drawing energy in. And exhale, sighing out, pushing out. All right, we're going to add in a little bit of a twist here. As we take a breath in, take that top hand behind the body. And then we're going to roll back to the center, drawing the hands in. And then sigh out. One more time in towards each other. And then sighing out. Let's twist again. Top hand comes behind. Roll the palms towards each other, yin and yang meeting, and then we sigh out. In and letting go. So see if you can find this pattern, opening, rolling the shoulder back, rolling the hips back forward, letting go. You might like to bring attention under the feet, just feel that solidity even as the upper body yields to the movement. If you get totally confused where your arms are meant to be, that's okay too. Just keep your attention under the feet or between the palms. One more time. And this time we'll bring the palms down to the belly. Once more, arriving in stillness. You might say, this is my goal. This is my destination. I am home in my body. I am listening. Whichever words connect with you. We'll clear and settle the energy. Take the arms wide. Inhale, draw energy into the heart. And sigh out. Next form, we'll turn our palms towards the ground, fingers pointing inwards. Just feel your shoulders coming towards each other at the front of the body. Take a breath in. As we sigh out, we open the chest and we turn our chin towards the shoulder. Inhaling back to the center, turning the fingers in. Exhaling as we turn. We might like to just look into the distance, no specific object. Keep moving with your breath. This form is usually called the wise owl, looking backwards. One more time. Drawing the palms back to the belly. Let's clear and settle the energy, inviting New oxygen into the body, sighing out. Fifth form, we step back to our horse stance. Take those feet a little wider than hip width. Drop into the form. We're going to start bringing, you can take your palms just to your upper legs, to your waist if you prefer, and lean your body on one side, straightening one leg. We're going to look back towards that foot. As we take a breath in, we sigh out, drop our nose down towards the knee. Keep sighing out, take the head all the way over. We're going to lean over, straighten the opposite leg, look towards that foot, and then sigh out to come up. Go back where you just were. Look towards the foot. Take a breath, sigh out, nose towards the knee. Just allow your head to be heavy in the whole journey across the body. Make sure there's no pressure on your knees. Inhaling as we lean. Exhaling as we roll. Shaking the head, wagging the tail, this one is called. And letting go. See if you can find a sense of effortlessness as you roll the body side to side. One more time. Step the feet back under the hips. Wrap the palms around. I have arrived. I am listening. Let's invite oxygen into the body. And sigh out. Next form is for the water element. We take both arms up in front of the body, leaning back as we breathe in. And then sighing out, hands come down. When we get to the heart, turn the palms up. Take a breath in. Take the hands behind and then trace down either side of the spine, the back of the thighs, the back of the legs. Empty out. Let your head hang. Bring it between the arms. Reach the arms forward. Take a breath in as we press through the feet. We lift up. Leaning back. And we sigh out. The bladder meridian is the longest meridian in the body, so allow that deep stretch and sense of letting go as we let our head go below the heart. Reach forward, big long breath as we come up. And letting go. Inviting in sense of flow, sense of movement. Listen to your own breath as you flow through this form. You might bend back a little or a lot. Just listen to your body. Keep your attention under the feet. So the body always feels stable, steady. One more time. Take that breath in, press through the feet, lift up. And letting go. Hands can come back down to the belly. You might invite that softness, that feeling of relaxation through the face, through the eyes, the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw. If your mind is still busy in a fog of thought, just notice wherever it's taking you. No judgment, no good or bad. All minds are alike. Some minds are trained, other minds not so trained. So you might just get a sense for this idea of mind training, not learning, just creating this template of stillness, muscle memory of attention and listening. If we're always busy, if we're always distracted, deep in thought, we don't really notice our life. Our life just passes us by. So you might just take a moment noticing the feeling of air on your skin or the ground beneath your feet, the temperature, quality of your breath, maybe the sound of birds in the distance. What can we notice about this day? Take our arms, welcome in one more breath. Sighing out. Let's step out to our horse stance again. Drop the weight down, back of the knees soft, spine straight. We're going to draw our elbows in, tuck your thumbs in, roll the fingers on top. We want to have all our attention under the feet, steady, sturdy, unable for anything to knock us down. Let's take a breath in. As we sigh out, push an arm forward. Inhale to draw energy into the body. And we react with calm, with ease. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, push. So just move from side to side. Focusing on the steadiness. Protecting our energy from toxic things, from things we don't invite, that we don't think we need. Keeping ourselves stable and secure. As we come back, let's step back, feet under the hips, arms on the belly for the last time. Final form in Duan Jin. Very simple. You might like to just bring your palms to the side. You can take them to your hips if you like. We just lift up our heels. You might take them just a millimeter off the ground. And then just allow them to drop down. Might feel that little bit of a shudder through the body. This is curing 100 illnesses according to Chinese medicine. This idea that we just have blockages of energy in our body that stop the free flow of oxygen, of movement through our body. Whenever we are blocked, we move towards illness. And whenever we invite that flow back in, we stay on the path of health. Doesn't matter how high you lift up. Just allow the body to connect back to the earth. And let's just shake out arms, shake out legs. And we'll just finish today just by letting our arms be heavy as we roll the shoulders back. You might find your arms knock against the hips, the kidneys. Just allow no effort whatsoever. Arms are free and heavy. And maybe you can just finish the practice with an intention to keep that feeling of not knowing, of being able to act without any expectation today. We don't always have to be motivated or have a goal. We can act just because we act. As we move, we accept everything that happens, expecting nothing. And in that act of expecting nothing, we start to appreciate everything, all the colors of the universe around us, all the viewpoints, all the shades of people, places, events that happen around us, without any judgment, without trying to trap or hold. Let's bring our palms together, front of the body, last little bit of heat. Whatever intention you might make for the day, bring the palms up to the head. Just hold it for a moment. And when you're ready, let's bring the palms together and we'll bow to each other.